Are you serious? Are you serious? Somebody sent me an email and said, what does that say on your red cup? Those are stainless steel travel mugs. I said, are you serious? Jesus saves. All right. Guys, I got some breaking news here real quick for you. Saudi Arabia, the BBC has just announced 10 minutes ago, Saudi Arabia and Egypt are announcing they're going to build a bridge. This is huge information. Give me 1 second here. I want to triple check my source here on this BBC announcement here. But Saudi Arabia's King Salman has announced that a bridge linking the country of Egypt to Saudi Arabia will be built over the Red Sea. And this might answer the question, how did Moses cross the Red Sea? Well, he crossed it on dry land, and it wasn't a bridge. But King Salman is going to build a bridge. Is this a prophetic prophecy by Apostle Paul? Now, I'm just throwing it out there. There is a debate that has gone on whether or not Mount Sinai was in Saudi Arabia. I mean, it's in Egypt. It's in Egypt. And Moses stood on Mount Sinai. He got the 10 Commandments given to him. The law of Moses came to him on Mount Sinai. And that's where the power of God came on him. Anyway, here's what it says in the BBC. He made the announcement, King Salman made the announcement during the second day of his visit to the Egyptian capital of Cairo. King Salman said in a statement that the bridge would boost the commerce between the two allied countries. Egyptian President al-Sisi said the bridge would be named after the Saudi King Salman. President Sisi is a close ally of the Saudi government. This is huge, folks. This is huge because the Sunni Muslims are building a bridge. Listen to what I'm telling you. This is a very prophetic bridge. Here's why. Tomorrow, actually next Tuesday, my guest on my live show will be Avi Lipkin. I met with Avi in Jerusalem in May of 2015. We sat down and did a 4-part YouTube video interview. You can watch it right here on my YouTube channel, in which he predicted that there would be a war between the Sunni and Shiite Muslims very soon, and that the Shiites would blow up the Sunni in Mecca. They would blow up the Black Stone. And he said, this war is coming. Well, at the time, I said, really? Okay, I hear what you're saying, but wow, are you serious? Well, since then, boy, Iran's moved into Syria. The war of words between Iran and Saudi Arabia has gotten intense. And now that Iran is in Syria, they're on the border of Saudi Arabia. Meanwhile, the Houthi rebels, Shiites, funded by Iran, overthrew the Yemen government and then attacked Saudi Arabia. Okay, so again, Shiites attacking the Sunni nation of Saudi Arabia. Egypt and Saudi Arabia building a coalition through this bridge. This bridge is literally not just a bridge over the Red Sea, but it's a bridge of a coalition being formed very strong now with the Sunni Muslims against the Shiites. Wow! Now, here's why I ask you, did Apostle Paul prophesy this? Some scholars would say no. Others would say maybe. Here's what it says. If you go to Galatians chapter 4, verse 25, Paul is talking here. Actually, just go up. He's talking about Hagar. Hagar was gave birth to Ishmael. Abraham is married to Sarah. And God tells Abraham, you're going to have a son. But Abraham is an old man. Sarah is way past the age of bearing children. And after 13 years after the prophecy came, Sarah comes to Abraham and says, look, I'm not going to be able to have a baby. All right. So you need to have this promised child that God is telling you. Here's my handmaiden, Hagar. Have the baby with her. And so Abraham does. And the baby's name is Ishmael. But Ishmael is not the promised child. And then Sarah gets pregnant miraculously and has the baby at the age of 90. And Abraham is at 100. And so the child's name is Isaac. Okay. But what about Hagar? Because we know later there's a falling out, and God tells Moses to get Hagar, take her and Ishmael, and get them out of your house. It's causing division, all right? Whenever your mistake starts mocking your miracle, folks, you need to get rid of the mistake, all right? I'm just tell you that right now, whatever that mistake is. Anyway, that's a different sermon. Anyway, here's what it says. Go with me to Galatians chapter 4. Here's what the Bible says. For it is written that Abraham had two sons, the one by the bondwoman, which is Hagar, the slave, the other by the free woman, his wife Sarah. But he who was of the bondwoman, which is Ishmael, was born after the flesh, but he after the free woman, which is Isaac, was by promise. Which things are an allegory? For these are the two covenants. The one from Mount Sinai, which gendereth to bondage, which is in Hagar. For this Agar is Mount Sinai in Arabia. An answer to Jerusalem, which now is and is in bondage with her children. Okay? So, Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of all of us. So what Paul is saying is, Mount Sinai is in Arabia. But Mount Sinai is in Egypt. We know it's in Egypt. Why did he say it's in Arabia? Now, we know that Hagar and her family settled there in the area called of Midland, but Mount Sinai is in Egypt. Or was he prophesying of a bridge connecting Saudi Arabia and Egypt together in some type of new Sunni kingdom that would put Sinai, the Mount Sinai then would be in Arabia? I'm going to leave that there for your guys' discussion. It's a lot of fun. But wow, breaking news. Breaking news. The key point here is not as much the biblical question as the key point is there's a bridge about to be built over the Red Sea linking Saudi Arabia to Egypt. And the coalition of Sunni nations against Shiites is beginning to take shape and form. I'll be back with more current world events and how they relate to Bible prophecy. Something biblical is going on with the signs of the second coming of Christ. God bless.